Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 9 and my name is Haris Moimi Bimrawa and I'm responsible as a project leader for our group.
I am designer of this. I am responsible to collecting the data.
I am responsible to direct the video shooting.
I am responsible to editing video.
Our project task is all about the sneakers game. In this task, we have to determine the angle of alpha that presented the cue ball strike and the angle of beta that presented the cue ball rebounds. We will give two types of the table, that is cushion and wood type of surface. Then we have to strike the cue ball in such a way that they bounce off one or more cushion before making contact with a colored target ball. Thanks.
This graph shows how cue ball deflection angle varies with ball hit fraction. With a really thin cut, the ball hit fraction is 0 and the cue ball does not deflect at all. Clips, the cue ball deflected by nearly the same angle for a wide range of cut angles.
A line from the center of the object ball to the center of the pocket where we want it to go, and to actually extend that line out in the other direction a little bit. What needs to happen is that the cue ball needs to be right on that line when it contacts the object ball, like that. So the cue ball is going to need to be right there, like that. The bad news is that in aiming this shot, you actually have to aim the center of the cue ball for there, the center of what we call the ghost ball. The good news is that it doesn't matter whether the cue ball starts out here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here. All roads lead to Rome. You aim for the same spot, like that. Your front hand is known as your bridge hand. Bridge length, as shown here, of about 8 or 9 inches is reasonable. What's important about either bridge, the open bridge like this, or the closed bridge like this, is that there be a reasonable footprint to your hand. Here's a follow shot. Here's a stop shot. And here's a draw shot or a backspin shot. The difference between these is, respectively, whether the cue ball had forward spin like that, or no spin like that, or reverse spin when it struck the object ball. The stop shot is critically important because mastering it opens up a whole range of possibilities for what the cue ball can do. A stop shot from the position shown will leave the cue ball stopped in the ghost ball location as shown, but a stop shot from any place over here, that same shot, would send the cue ball off at this 90-degree angle, like that. Follow shot sends the cue ball starting in the same direction, but then bending forward of it. And then a draw shot sends the cue ball starting in the same direction and then bending backwards of it. You achieve these different spins by having the tip strike the cue ball low or medium or above, any place along the vertical center of the cue ball, and you get the different heights by raising or lowering your bridge, leaving the stick level as possible for all the strokes. The 8 ball gets racked in the middle here. One of these corner balls is a solid and the other one is a stripe. Nothing else matters. This is the head ball and it gets racked onto the foot spot here, and when you rack the balls, try to make them all touching one another, which is called a tight rack. At this point in the game, it's said that the table is open, meaning it's not determined who has stripes and who has some. The only other time this head string matters in the game of 8 ball is if the player on the break scratches the cue ball. The cue ball goes in the pocket. Then the opposing player must begin starting behind the head string and shooting a ball that's out of the kitchen. Always swipe some chalk onto the tip before every pool shot.
If you are struggling with your snooker game or if you wish to further improve your skills, this just might be what you are looking for. First, we must concentrate, relax, always put chalk on your wrist stick after each and every shot.